we are off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Oh God, so tired. Wow, man, I feel like you can sleep for another 7 hours sometimes. I'm having a moment now talking. I think this is like my first time talking all day. It feels like it. I've been listening to a podcast for the past 45, 50 minutes. And I'm just... my own voice sounds weird. How wild on our way to Worcester. What I've noticed is that as I charge my phone and film, it overheats really quickly. So I'm going to try to make this a little bit briefer. But I'm listening to more of this guy. I want to say his name's Gabor, Dr. Gabor. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. But I initially heard him on Tim Ferriss. Now we're hearing him on Joe Rogan, which is a little bit easier to digest for a lot of people. It's a more casual conversation. Tim Ferriss is very calculated in his questioning, and it's good. It leads to, learning a lot of information, but, just like anything, it's easier to pick up on a conversation. It's kind of a little bit more casual. You hear more stories, and it just kind of flows a little better, but still learning. But talking about a lot of things that I had heard years ago in Chinese medicine, and he talks more about the trauma. So it's essentially the example that I heard back in 2015 was when I took this first summer. I was like, think of a baby that's starving and is crying, and the mom walks out of the room. This is like a couple months old baby. Well, now this child has abandonment issues, and that's exactly what this doctor talks about, is how at 11 months old he was raised in like a concentration camp for like a year, I guess, or under Nazi rule, I guess. And his mom handed him to a stranger on the street to save his life. And he freaked out and had abandonment issues, and didn't feel as if he had worth. And so he became a workaholic. So he would constantly, as a physician, he would just work all the time, successful, a lot of money, blah, blah. But then he'd have like his own, if he wasn't working, he was a miserable fuck because he didn't feel like he had worth. So really interesting stuff, worth a listen, because when you hear this from multiple different sources, and he talks about being able to finally feel love through using ayahuasca, which I'd love to eventually see what that's all about, untangle my own bullshit. But yeah, it's not the only way. Excuse me. Resume cruise control, please. But I mean, even without that, can you see how close that tractor trailer is? It's not something. I'm going 74. Holy shit! I feel like I'm in Terminator 2. Holy shit. Bro. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm grateful for another beautiful day. Another opportunity to make a buck. My loved ones, my friends around me. I'm sore as shit from training yesterday. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I get to train again tonight. I'm grateful that this tractor trailer hasn't killed me. I'm grateful that I get to take another breath. Just grateful, man. Grateful. People that have asked me repeatedly, oh, I've been trying to buy you a coffee on that buy me a coffee. I just couldn't do it. But okay, well, people kept asking, so I threw up my Venmo thing on Instagram. It's always nice to know that people are reading or watching, because it reminds me of the social pressure to continue doing this, because even right now on this drive, my eyes are foggy and I'm barely in my coffee. It's been sitting next to me for almost an hour. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to zone out and listen. But hey, maybe I can spread that knowledge to you. It's a good podcast. We all got our bullshit. One thing that he talks about is that there are no genetics, there are no genes that are specific to any mental illness. It's all just trauma that reflects in our genetics or something to that effect. But addiction is found from trauma. This is his theory. I kind of believe it. I mean, it makes sense, because you could be an alcoholic because you were traumatized from whatever reason, so now, you just drink to feel better, or I think he phrased it better, and then, the next family member behind you, your child sees that, and now they drink to feel better, or they see, oh shit, dad's an alcoholic, I could become one too, it's in my genetics. I guess he got an email from, I'm going to end on this, but he got an email from someone in the United States that said they were scared to have a child because the father, this guy's fine, the father believed that he was an alcoholic, and then he read Gabor Mate's book, Gabor Mate's book, one of them. And he realized that it was trauma that was causing his drinking addiction. It wasn't his genetics, because he was fearful he's going to pass it on, so he wouldn't have a kid. The wife was 44, so really at the end of her ability to have a child. So that was the nicest letter he ever got. So check it out. It's worth listening to. Again, been saying it for quite some time. And this dude says it on Tim Ferriss, and then now he's saying it on Joe Rogan. So it's for real, boys and girls. But have yourself a great Thursday. It is beautiful. Another day without a cloud in the sky. Not one, man. It's still technically summer too. Get to the beach.